So, you need to get a commercial property appraisal in San Francisco. It can feel like a total headache, right? Well, what if it wasn't? Today, we're going to break down exactly how to get a solid valuation for your office building step by simple step.
Maybe you're refinancing, maybe you're looking to sell, or maybe you're just dealing with taxes. Whatever the reason, if you own an office building in San Francisco, at some point, you're going to need to know its true market value. And if that's you right now, you've come to the right place.
Yeah, and let's be real for a second. The whole process can feel like a total black box. You hear about all these documents and site visits and market analysis. It just feels like a ton to juggle, especially when you need a number you can actually count on.
But here's the good news. It's not nearly as complicated as it sounds. It really just boils down to 4 simple steps. And that's exactly what we're going to walk through right now. We're going to make this crystal clear for you.
Okay, so here's the game plan. We'll start with gathering your info. Then, we'll talk about making contact. After that, preparing for the site visit, and finally, getting that all-important valuation. Ready? Let's dive into step 1.
All right, let's get into it. Step 1, gather your information. Honestly, think of this as your prep work. Getting this stuff together up front makes everything else go so much smoother. Plus, it helps the appraiser give you a really accurate quote and timeline right from the get-go.
Okay, so this table pretty much lays out exactly what you'll need. On one side, you've got the property basics, the address, square footage, that kind of thing. Then you have the income details, which basically paints the financial picture of how the building is doing. But listen, that third column, the appraisal purpose, that is absolutely crucial. Why? Well, an appraisal for an IRS estate filing is going to have way different requirements than, say, one for a partner buyout. Knowing the why from the very beginning helps the appraiser tailor the report perfect.
Okay, once you've got all your info in a neat little pile, you're ready for step 2, contacting the experts. This is where you find a qualified commercial appraiser who really gets the San Francisco market. And just for this example, we'll look at how the process works with a firm like KO Commercial Appraisal.
And the great thing about this step is how flexible it is. You can literally just pick up the phone and have a conversation. Or, if you prefer, shoot off a quick email with the main details. Or even easier, just fill out a form on their website. Oh, and see that last point? Super important. Figuring out who is going to provide access for the site visit, it's a small detail, but it can prevent some major delays down the road. Trust me.
Making that first call or sending that first email is really where the rubber meets the road. A direct conversation is almost always the fastest way to talk about your specific building, get a clear fee quote, and nail down a timeline for when you'll get the final report. This is when the process starts to feel real. All right, moving on to step 3. Preparing for the visit. Now, this is where you can really help the appraiser, which, let's be honest, means you're helping yourself. A little bit of good preparation here ensures the inspection goes smoothly and, more importantly, leads to a reliable and accurate final number.
So, what documents do you need? Here's the key list. Notice it says operating statements for the last 1 to 3 years. That gives the appraiser a super clear picture of the property's financial track record. And that list of recent capital improvements? That's your moment to shine. It's your chance to show off all the recent investments you've made that add real, tangible value.
And this takes it a step further. You don't want to just hand over a pile of papers and walk away. You want to be their guide. Point out that brand new HVAC system you just installed, or the big seismic retrofit you completed. These are huge value drivers. And you know what? Be upfront about any deferred maintenance too. The goal here is a true defensible value. And that means the appraiser needs the complete, honest picture. And here we are. We've made it to the final step. Step 4, the final valuation. So you've done all your prep. The appraiser is booked. What happens now? How does all that information get turned into that final number?
This is pretty much the appraiser's workflow in a nutshell. First, they'll do a really thorough site inspection, walking the property, taking photos, and just verifying the building's condition. Then comes the real deep dive into market data, looking at recent sales, current rents, vacancy rates, all that good stuff in your specific area. They'll apply a few standard valuation methods, and it all comes together in that final, comprehensive written report.
And this right here is the most important thing to remember. You're not just paying for a number on a page. What you're really getting is a well-supported, defensible opinion of market value. It's a professional document that's built to stand up to scrutiny from lenders, from attorneys, even from the IRS.
This quote really just nails it, doesn't it? It perfectly sums up the end goal.
The report you get in your hands has to meet professional standards. I mean, whether it's for a multi-million-dollar loan or a critical IRS filing, that report has to be accurate, compliant, and totally ready for inspection. That's the mark of a quality appraisal.
So there you have it. That's the process from start to finish. By gathering your info, making that contact, preparing for the visit, and understanding these final steps, you take what seems like a complicated appraisal and turn it from a black box into a clear, manageable process. And the best part? You're no longer just passively waiting for a number. You become an active participant in determining your building's true defensible value.